right now.
All right, we are live. Hello.
What up?
Hello. Word
What
up.
up, my fellow anglers? Look who we have here. A special guest joining us tonight all the way from Orlando, Apopka, Florida. We got Chris the Clutter. What's going on,
What's up, guys?
sir?
How are you?
Good to have
you on here.
Yeah,
Good
just
to see you.
We had Scott and Daryl show up quick, and Ken.
Snurly. That's
Snurly.
what was his name? Christopher Lindsay, I think.
The
Yo,
Wiz.
Nicholas Beltran. Nicholas, man, are you going to join the club, or you just like watching us on the live? I see you pop your head in every once in a while. I was curious.
What's up,
to see if
Nick?
you're gonna join. Harrelson says he does exist. Yeah, he does.
I do sometimes. Sometimes
We wonder the same thing sometimes, but we know he's out there doing God's work.
Hey,
God knows
just Daryl just gave away his frog collection in his new box he has. I don't know who throw frogs, anyways. They're useless.
Yeah, they never work.
Yeah, they absolutely never work. Jigs, vibrating jigs, nothing.
David Myers, you're right.
He's a lurker. Yeah, he is. You never know when Clutter's watching.
Oh, that's right.
So we got quite a few people watching already. Go ahead and drop your name in the comment section below, and we'll give you a shout out, hopefully. Kenneth the Wiz, man, how you doing? He always comes in and says, "Sup, guys," and then we never hear anything of him again.
I actually talked to the Wiz today.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Scott Gibbons is in. I like that.
Hey, Nicholas, we appreciate the support we do. We'd like to see you out on the water too, man.
Hey, my girlfriend just commented.
Oh, yeah, that's my wife.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, who's that cowboy right there? I need to take that picture off.
Wow.
Oh, Kenneth, hey, that's a real cop. He's on and he's watching.
Dang.
Supporting the cause. We appreciate that, Kenneth. And then Timothy Campbell said, "I'm making the winning lures for the first event."
Ooh.
Nice.
Let me guess what they are. Speedworm. Let me know if that's the right answer, Timothy. All right, we got 10 folks.
Nice. I think
Hey,
he's
message us some pictures of the baits, and we'll post them up here on the live.
making
Yeah.
rooster tails.
We'll share.
Underspins. All right, he said he's keeping his mouth shut. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll find him on the water. I'll get my binoculars out and I'll figure out what he's throwing. I'm just kidding. All right, so we got 11 folks that's already watching us. So hopefully you hop on in a little bit, or if you're watching this after we went live. I'm going to do a quick overview of kind of what we're going to spend the next hour or so talking about, and getting you guys up to date on some of the important information that we think you guys need for this coming trail season, which starts next weekend on October 14th out at Fellsmere and Stickmarsh. So order of business that we're going to talk about today is I'm going to give you guys an update on the 13 Fishing account, and kind of what that's going to look like moving forward. We're going to go over, Todd's going to introduce the 2024 budget and breaking down how that's going to look. I'm going to talk a little bit about how Fishing Chaos plays a part in that as well. So me and Todd are going to tackle that. And then Sean's going to go over some of the rule updates and a quick overview of a lot of the pre-fishing, the safety restrictions, and some guide services, and kind of talk a little bit about that. Registration with Fishing Chaos I'll go over, and then Todd is going to wrap up the live with a jersey reveal for the Florida Kayak Bass Trail 2024 official jerseys. So it's going to be an exciting live. If you guys have questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the comment section below. I'm sure we will all be monitoring that section to make sure we answer them in a timely manner. So,
What's up, Robert?
into the 13. Am I still there?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, to the 13 fishing accounts, right? So you guys all saw a post from me early this week about to make sure you're paying attention to your emails from 13 Fishing to for account registration or to finish your account registration. So here it is. If you guys had an account with us last year or have had an account in the past years and your name was on that September 1st list, last year's account was reactivated. Okay, so make sure before you say, hey, my account doesn't work, try logging on with your last year's username, email, and password that you had. I know for me personally, I got another email on Tuesday saying, hey, here's a new password reset, and I had to go in and reset everything up. And my discount and everything worked flawless. But what I'm noticing is a lot of the brand new members to the club, they're not getting emails and their accounts aren't generated. So if that's you and you met the September 1st deadline for the 13 Fishing discount, I think we have 12 people commented on the original post. And those names are on the list and they're getting sent up to our POC tomorrow. I haven't sent them up yet because I wanted to go live and introduce it and talk to you guys about it. And hopefully those of you that didn't see the post or didn't comment on it, drop a comment in this video or go to our Facebook page and leave a comment with your name there so you can get added to that list. If you don't comment and you don't say, hey, I have an issue, your name's not going to be on that list and it's just going to prolong your account being activated. So more to come on that. Please drop your name in that Facebook poster in this, and we will get you taken care of with your 13 Fishing account. We will not discuss the discount on the live because that is a private discount between us and our members. So if you guys have any issues and you don't believe your discount is properly reflected as what it should be, reach out to me and I will address that with the point of contact as well. So yeah, I hope that answers most of your questions. But if you do have any questions in regards to that account, just drop it in the comment section and we'll answer them throughout the live. Next, we got Todd, who's going to jump on with the budget.
All right. Let's add this up here. Okay, here's our little budget breakdown for the year. This kind of just tells you where the money's going and how we're paying out. So first off, total deposits after all fees from Fishing Chaos. So whenever you go in and you register, if you opt for the big bass, $57.96 is what goes into the account. If you go without paying the big bass option, it's $47.96. So here's our regular season tournament payout details. Entry fee is $50 per angler per event. Money towards the event payout is $40, and that's per person. Administration fees, which goes for our tournament checks, our QuickBooks, our StreamYard, all the stuff that we have to pay for, is $5 per person that's pulled out. And we also take out $3 for the championship pot contribution. So we hold $3 back per person per event that goes into the championship pot each year for the end of the year. All right. So the monthly challenge payout details, the entry fee is $30 per angler per event. The big bass entry fee, that pays out 100% each event, which is $10. The total deposited after all fees is $38.54 or $28.54 if you opt to not go into the big bass pool. And we hold $3 out for the Angler of the Year pot contribution from the monthly challenges. Money towards the event payout is $25 per angler that's registered.
Yeah.
All right. for the monthly challenge payout scale, this is how we pay it out. Top 10% at $25 per angler. So for the first place, it's 100% if that's less than 10 anglers that join. If you're just less than, if it's 20 anglers or less, we pay, or down to 10 anglers, it's first place and second place pays. We pay 60% to first place, 40% to second place. If it's, I guess, greater than 30 or less than 30 anglers, 30 and less, it's first place is 50%, second place is 30%, and third place is a 20% payout.
And that's just like our regular season payout right now. Scale.
So for 40 anglers, it's first place is 40%, second place is 30, third is 20, fourth is 10, and then at 50 and above, it's 40, 30, 15, 10, and 5%, all the way out to fifth place. Okay?
Yeah.
So, if we had 60 anglers, we'd go out to sixth place, right? So, and then we'd adjust that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there on the 60 anglers.
The most anglers we've had last year participate was 48, so that's why we went to 50. These payout scales are on a Excel sheet that we will publish to the members only page for your guys' access after this live. So if you want to reference that or look at it after this live, there will be a Excel sheet uploaded on the files page on our members only.
Okay, so for our regular tournaments, the payout scale is if it's less than 50 anglers. And so we use the numbers at $40 at 35 anglers, right? First place at 50% would be $700. Second place at 30% is $400. Third place is $300. So the total payout based on 35 anglers at $40 per angler is $1,400 total. So if it's greater than 50 anglers at $40 and we had 51 anglers, this is how the payout would go. First place would be $816. Second place is 30% payout, which is $612. Third place, 15%, which is $306. Fourth place, 10%, which is $204. And fifth place, 5%, which is $102. That equals out to $2,040. That's a pretty good chunk of change right there.
Yeah.
And then lastly, on our KBF payout for big bass, regular season event, it's $10 per angler. 50% goes towards the big bass per event. That's $5 that we take out to pay on big bass for each event. And 50% goes to our end of the year lunker, which this year we're going to include the championship. So you can go all year long and have the lunker, but somebody can come along in the championship and catch one larger, and they can take that lunker pot at the end of the season. So
last year's lunker was Todd. He's right there. He walked away with $980 last year for one fish. So
bought him a bunch
awesome.
of loofahs.
Hey,
yeah. So
mute him, kick him out of here.
Yeah, go ahead. We got a mute Clutter here. He's spouting out stuff already. So no, that's awesome. That's good. Yeah, FK the Big Bass. That's going to be another great opportunity. We have this year's Big Bass sponsor, a Spear Point Performance Hooks. They're going to be hooking us up with a ton of product to be given away to Big Bass winners. Whoever wins a Big Bass in the tournament, each tournament's going to get a Spear Point Performance Hook package. And then we're working a detail out with them, and we'll release it once we get it confirmed. They're going to do an overall lunker package as well too. And also, Todd, do we want to introduce the surprise, or y'all want to hold off until the first event on what you created?
Oh no, we're going to wait.
Okay,
it's going to be a surprise. Surprise!
Yeah, we have a
only because David Meyer said something, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Todd will have to find a new barrel. Yeah, so Todd, I appreciate you putting some time into that the display or the stuff there to kind of show the budget and breakdown. We're trying to be transparent with you guys on what we are putting back into your guys' pockets, right? But at the end of the day, participation drives payouts. There's no magical bank account that any four of us have where we can just pull thousands of dollars out to pay you guys. So we use those numbers, 35 as a realistic number at $40, because we average anywhere between 28 and 35 anglers per event. So $1,400 for a payout with 35 people is pretty good. That's a good day on the water if you're getting just over $800 with 35 anglers. Again, just so you know, you guys would have seen on there, none of us here on this screen are getting paid to do what we're doing. This is strictly volunteer, and we're trying to make this tournament trail something that you guys look forward to participating in each month. And it's something, again, that all four of us, we pay our monthly $60 to fish in these events just like you guys do. And we are going to be fishing it, right? We are anglers, we're directors, and we're running the trail, but we are also competitors and anglers on the water. And if you also notice on there, you don't see a judge's fee, right? So we're trying to maximize payouts by linking up with the kayak or the Tennessee KBF, the KBFTN, and they are judging our tournaments, and we are judging their tournaments to kind of help offset those costs, so that we can put more money back in our members' pockets at each event. Something that we're doing new this year that Todd mentioned is that, I don't know if y'all saw it, but on the monthlies, we're taking $3, and that's going towards the Angler of the Year pot to drive that pot up. Last year, Angler of the Year took home a Van Hunks kayak, Dakota lithium battery, and $350 cash from New Canoe. So if we have folks that participate in that monthly, $3 per angler per each monthly, that money's will go into the Angler of the Year's pocket at the end of the year. And then for the regular season turnout, for each angler that fishes our regular season events, $3 per angler of that is going to go towards the championship pot. So last year we got some questions on how can we build a bigger championship and Angler of the Year pot. That's your answer right there. And any money that's left over, or for some reason it doesn't go in we have extra money left over fees after all the fees are paid for, that money is getting turned over into the championship pot to help build that throughout the year, so that we can make it a great championship. Last year we had 19 people, 18 or 19 people in the championship, and it was our biggest payout all year.
Yeah.
And it had our lowest participation. We had 19 anglers, and first place took home $1,000.
Yeah.
I thought we had 17.
17, yeah. And first place took home $1,000. Second place was $600, and third place was $400, right? And that's not sponsorship money. That's nothing. That is how we budgeted it out for this year, or for last year. And this year, it should be more than that based on how we structured the payout scales. So again, participation drives payouts. That's simple as that.
Yep. And on top of that, we had great prizes to give away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $6,500. $6,500, including the kayak and all those things that we didn't technically have to come out of pocket for, but there was around $6,500 in prizes and giveaways, and including the payouts. So I know I have Robert Phillips. He made a post. He said, why is everyone waiting to register if everyone pays early? Yeah. So the cash thing, this is how this is going to work this year. Setting a deadline. We set a deadline, right? If we set it for whatever it is, a lot of folks are going to miss out on that. We have a lot of new anglers that haven't fished our trail last year. At the championship, we did a cutoff. And I was able to pay cash to the members at the tournament. They walked away with the cash in their hand. We didn't do that for the first event or the first couple events because we want people to get in the swing of things. I'm not sure if that's something we will be able to do. If we can, we might go that route, but right now we're going to stick to the electronic payouts and do it that way. But like we said earlier, if y'all wait till Friday to sign up to the last minute, that money will not initiate the transfer until Monday, and it takes 3 days for that money to hit the bank account for the club. So that puts us at Wednesday, and then between that time, if members don't get back to me with their W-9s, money is not going to be transferred until first. Anybody who's receiving a check on behalf of the Florida Kayak Bass Trail gives me their W-9. That's just how it is in every other trail, and that's how it's going to be for us. So, yep, get your W-9s in. We will send those out to you guys immediately following the first event. Fill them out, send them back, and once the money hits the account, money's going to go out.
Get your waivers in too.
Yes, get your Florida Kayak Bass Trail waivers in as well. If you need those and you haven't signed one and filled it out, send me a message and you'll get and I'll send you one.
I know I've seen 2 come through.
I've got quite a bit in my inbox.
Yeah, I've seen a few come through also.
Yeah, if they're sending them to you, can y'all forward them to me, or are y'all tracking it on the Florida Kayak Bass Trail?
I've created a folder in our shared folder that you can drop them into.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing this weekend, is moving them all over to that folder. So, yeah, Chris Barker, we appreciate it. A lot of you guys at the championship walked away with a lot of really, really neat prizes. So next on the list, Sean, I'll let you take over and talk about some of the rules and where our mind was at with those.
Yeah, hey, so rules specifically, I know we've had some talking points. I'll have to have Chris verify on here right now or not. But on the tournament registration page, if there is not, there's going to be a block you have to check when you register for the tournament. It says, have you read the rules? And you're going to have one option to answer, and it's going to be yes. So if you check yes, which is your only option, you have to read the rules, and you violate the rules, it's gonna whatever penalty is associated with that rule is going to be on you, the angler, because angler responsibility, the place to or read the rules prior to the event. All right, now I'm going to highlight a few things. A couple of them are changes, which you guys are pretty aware of. Safety specifically is section 2 in the rules. All kayaks are going to be equipped with a white light and a flag, and you're going to have your whistle or audible signaling device. If you're running a motor, your kayak must be registered, and during hours of limited visibility, you need to have red, green navigation lights on your kayak specifically. Kind of safety considerations also highlighted in there. It's up to us whether at any time, like if weather is a factor, we have the discretion to go ahead and either shorten or cancel the tournament if safety becomes a priority. Probably the worst tournament we probably should have delayed possibly was Toho. The north end of the lake was good, but the south end was extremely dangerous. I tried to go out on the main lake. It wasn't a wise choice, but
North Lake was not good.
Yeah. What's up?
Said North Lake was not good. Clutter almost dipped twice.
You guys were in mid lake. Let's be honest. All right, so safety specifically, like I said, required is a flag, right? If it's personally, I know Chris Bailey. He showed everybody in the world the other night or last week on live. He has a red Georgia flag, which is gross, but it's a red flag. You can have the typical orange flag. Red, orange is fine, right? Personally, I put my red tow flag on top of my power pole, and it stays there every time I go out fishing. And a 360 white light and navigation lights, red, green, if you have a motor. And on top of that, you have to have your kayak registered in accordance with Florida state laws. Pending any other comments on safety, I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, flotation device. Flotation device must be worn at all times while on the water, either an inflatable, not the hip inflatable chest worn, or like an NRS type life preserver, if that makes sense. I don't know. Any questions or comments on that?
Well, I mean, if you want to wear an orange around your neck, even one of those life jackets, you can wear it. But make sure you got a life jacket on.
Definitely, for sure. I know some of us personally carry a couple life jackets with us every time we travel. there's other anglers. If you forget something, just ask one of the fellow anglers. I know I carry 2 boards, 2 life jackets, a few identifiers. There's people out there that are redundant in stuff they carry. So if you forget something, may not be the end of your day. Someone's always willing to help. All right. We covered rule or paragraph 3, payback and participation. Todd essentially covered all that. Off limits, practice, and competition, right? So we changed
Chris,
that from what's that?
Chris, what you got?
Just the question on the. We got a question about the numbers have to be 3 inches.
Yeah.
Sorry. That popped up after you started.
That's fine. 3 inches for your whole what is it? Whole
Vessel
registration. ID. Yeah, whatever. Chris is a cop. He knows what he's talking about. All right. Off limits, right? So we changed the rule on the off limits for pre-fishing. It's now pre-fishing ends 3 p.m. the day prior to the event starting. So from 3 p.m. until launch time, the water's off limits. All right. Specifically, we'll talk. Go ahead and I'll bring up Fellsmere. 6:22. You're going to be able to enter the parking lot 6:22, no earlier than 6:22. If you pull in at 6:21, I'll just go ahead and DQ you myself. All right, so 6:22, 7:22 sunrise for our event next weekend. So 6:22, you're able to enter the parking lot for Headwaters Lake. If you're going to the Stick Marsh parking lot, hey, I'm busy, darling. Okay, go away. I'll get with you here in a sec. Of course I get bothered. No, so like I was saying, 6:22, you can enter the parking lot Headwaters. If you're going to Stick Marsh, you can get there whenever you get there. There's no time limit on entering Stick Marsh parking lot. You cannot launch until 6:30. So 6:30 a.m., you're able to launch your kayak and leave the ramp, or the kayak launch, or Stick Marsh boat ramp. I do not have an issue if you get ready along the road outside the parking lot at Headwaters boat ramp. You get there at 6. You're not pulled in the parking lot. You get your kayak ready. You pull into the parking lot at 6:22. Back your trailer in, launch your kayak. That's fine. You can pull it up on the grass. There's plenty of area to pull your kayaks up on the left and right of the boat ramp. But you cannot leave the vicinity of the boat ramp, which is for Headwaters boat ramps going to be that square. We'll say within 100 yards of the boat ramp, you cannot enter an S canal until 06:30. Same for Stick Marsh. You can stay in proximity of the boat ramp, sitting in your kayak within that immediate area of the boat ramp on Stick Marsh. I know you don't have a lot of room, but you can kind of creep out towards the canal, but you can't start going down the canal on Stick Marsh because it's a little bit tighter there. Probably recommendation is push off to the right, stay in that proximity of the Stick Marsh boat ramp. And the kayak launch at Headwaters, you can use the new Stick Marsh kayak launch. You can pull your kayaks down there, but you can pull them down, sit the nose in the water, but you can't be in your kayak in the water in Headwaters until 6:30 underway. All right. Now 21-day rule, right? So 21 days out from the event, all pre-fishing must be done from an authorized kayak, which is in Section 6, the kayak regulation. It's going to specify the type of vessel you're authorized to be in, type of kayak you're authorized to be in during pre-fishing time. 21 days out. Outside of 21 days, you can fish out of your glitter rocket, or you can take a guided trip, but 21 days and inside 21 days, you must fish out of an authorized vessel, which is specified in Section 6. I think that covers everything for off limits and practice. Practice time, there's not really an off limits for pre-fishing now. It's all the way up until 3 p.m. Friday. Information gathering, that was off limits, practice, competition, Section 4. Information gathering, That is also, that kind of covers the guide portion. Inside of 21 days, you can't take a guided trip. Section 6, like I said, kayak regulations going to specify what watercraft are allowed, the type of motors you're allowed to have on your watercraft. There's no gas powered motors, electric only, not to exceed 3 horsepower. And your vessel you fish out of must be 9-foot minimum and no longer than 18 feet is what's specified in the rules. So if you want to fish out of your PA-17 tandem, it's fair game within the rules. I know that was a question asked by Woody, I believe. But it's going to specify what's not allowed. Gas or liquid fuel motorized or hybrid fuel electric or hybrid fuel are not allowed. Sailboats not allowed. John boats not allowed. Pirogues, coracles, rowboats not allowed. Dinghies and skiffs, float tubes, inflatable rafts not allowed. Pontoon boats not allowed. Oh, let's see. I think that covers everything. Section 7's measuring device. Right now, the only authorized measuring device is for this club is the catch board. And you must have a contrasting sticker, which I believe we're going to provide you at the first event to place on the bump on your board. Because some of the boards are hard to determine whether your fish is touching that bump completely. So that contrasting sticker placed on the bump is going to be mandatory. We're going to provide those for you, or you can use one of your sponsors or preferred stickers you want to stick on your bump. Permitted fishing methods is in Section 8. No live bait allowed. Permitted fishing locations. Go ahead.
I said, dang it.
Dang it. Yeah, so permitted fishing locations. So mainly with this, look at the tournament registration page, and it's going to outline the boundaries, authorized launches. I'm going to finish those up this weekend. I know myself and Chris both have a long weekend this weekend, so we're off Friday and Monday. So I'm going to finish all the overlays for boundaries and authorized boat ramps for the entire schedule. All right. Oh, that's Section 9, permitted fishing locations. If you look highlighted in red in number 3, it says competitors who wade in the water during competition must always remain tethered to his or her watercraft. Length of tethered is not to exceed 20 feet. That's generally a baseline rule across all clubs, but I can't imagine a lot of you guys are going to be wading anywhere in Florida. All right. Also inside here, it specifies FKBT monthly lake locations for October to June monthly tournaments. All right. It's the schedule. So Fellsmere, Stickmarsh, Toho, East and West, Lake Kissimmee, not the entire Kissimmee chain, just Lake Kissimmee specifically. Lake Panisofsky, the Harris chain, all of the Harris chain's fair game. The St. Johns River. So the boundaries for the St. Johns River are Astor Bridge to the north and DeLand Bridge, which is Route 44 to the south, right? And Astor Bridge, I believe, is Highway 40. Astor Bridge and DeLand Bridge, Highway 44 to the south. Those are your boundaries. So the river, streams, lakes between those two boundaries are all eligible water on the St. Johns. Lake Istapoga, Lake Okeechobee, and Lake Seminole. All right. So I will specify, like I said, I'll have the complete boundary bodies of water done this weekend and posted in the members only page for all those lakes. New lakes to the schedule this year are Seminole. Okeechobee is going to be the same boundaries as last year. Lake Istapoga, same boundaries. Identified St. Johns River. Harris Chain, Panisofsky are new events, along with Kissimmee. Toho, East and West. East is going to be a new body of water for this season for us. So those will be specified. Same boundaries for Toho, Big Toho. And Fellsmere and Stickmarsh, same boundaries. You guys are tracking those. All right, sportsmanship. I'll cover this real quick, right? So chill out, little girl. You want to say hi to the world?
Yeah, butterfly.
Yep. All right. So sportsmanship. Some highlights from last season. Buffers between anglers. Right now, it still remains the same as the 50-yard buffer, right? And the main takeaway I want to speak on this is having communication with fellow anglers, right? So if I see Todd up there fishing up close to where I want to fish, and it's gonna push that 50-yard buffer, Todd, do you mind if I pass by you and fish this section up ahead? And if you have that communication piece between anglers, unless you have a past history and you guys don't get along for whatever reason, they're probably going to say yes, right? Generally, if you have that open dialogue between anglers, it's not an issue jumping past another angler. But this is not the club. It's unsportsmanlike to operate off of a bent rod pattern, right? So if I watch Bailey crush a 10-pounder out of a hydrilla and he's snapping a photo and he drifts off his spot due to wind and he didn't power pole down, I'm going to slip up in there and slide in on a spot. That's pretty unprofessional and unsportsmanlike, and is not a very good look for kayak fishing overall. So ensure you have an open dialogue between anglers if you're in a close proximity. Don't pull up in front of an angler if he's clearly taking a line. We have a lot of grass lines in Florida. He or she's working this Kissimmee grass line, and you move up in front of them 35 meters or 35 yards and start making casts. That's not going to be tolerated. All right. Now, 50 yards is a hard thing. Bailey's notorious for cutting me off when we're fishing for fun on the weekend. So I DQ him every weekend during the weekend trash talking trail. But for real, have that open dialogue. Let's not have any issues on the water. Open dialogue solves a lot of issues. I don't want to have to specify. If you guys want to both fish an offshore hole in the middle of Lake Toho, and you guys are all right fishing the same hole, that's fine, as long as you're not violating a rule of like sharing water in order to pool money and catch fish and try and have a competitive advantage over other anglers and taking advantage of that, as long as you're not trying to violate any of those in that integrity, right? So, I mean, pending any questions on that, I think that clearly covers sportsmanship. Be professional with each other. Don't cut each other off. If you see somebody catch a big fish, don't operate off the bent rod pattern like you're about to see here in the near future when all the snowbirds come down from the north and they start seeing you catch fish. They're going to roll right up in their boats and fish right on top of you. So, and if you have that issue with another angler, just bring it up. The best way to solve problems is the direct approach. If that doesn't work, by all means, contact one of us and we'll deal with it at that point. Any questions or comments? I have something I'd like to add. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was trying to be funny. I have something I'd like to add to that as well. For us, me, Sean, Todd, and Chris, we're going to be out there fishing, and we're going to be at the award ceremonies, obviously. I know last year I had a couple anglers that would come up and say, hey, I had an issue on the water, or this happened on the water. That's fine with you coming up and telling us, hey, this was an issue. We need to know about it. But I know from my perspective, I'm going to ask you, did you say anything? Did you mention it to that angler? Did you let them know that what they did was not sportsmanlike, right? Because at the end of the day, they honestly might not know what they did is not welcome, right? So some of it might be blatantly obvious, but to them it might not be. So do them a service and say, hey, what you just did was unprofessional. I don't appreciate that. Can we communicate better on the water? Because that's what I'm going to ask you. Because if you say that and they tell you they responded in a negative way, or they threatened you or whatever, then that's something that myself and the rest of the tournament anglers our tournament directors will take action on. But please do your part, and we'll do our part. We got a police officer right here who can handle all domestic violence.
And to add on to that, so if we'll say somewhat, the rule that's commonly broken, or not commonly broken, has been broken and been a hot topic in kayak fishing is life jackets. So if you need to take your life jacket off for whatever reason, you need to shed clothes or add clothing, you're going to stop fishing. You're going to go ahead and sit down, take your life jacket off, remove your wet weather gear, cold weather gear, or add your wet weather gear, cold weather gear, put your life jacket back on, and continue fishing, right? So that's the gist of being allowed to take off your life jacket, right? If you identify a fellow angler not wearing their life jacket and they're fishing, just let us know and communicate with that angler. Hey, you're not supposed to be fishing with a life jacket. It's probably a good thing to have some integrity and go ahead and disqualify yourself. And I most likely we're not going to have that issue, but life jackets worn at all times. It's a safety consideration. And like I said, I gave you pretty much the one reason you can take it off, but you must stop fishing. You can't fish with no life jacket on. All right. Scoring, section 11. I think we've beat that up pretty much. Any penalties is going to be a half-inch deduction. And scoring's done in a quarter-inch increment. We covered the authorized boards. Authorized measuring device. I understand a new measuring device possibly is going to come out during the season, and we'll amend the rules if generally everybody else is going to allow the new boards, whatever companies come out with a new board, everybody's hopping on board. We're gonna go ahead and amend the rules and add that new measuring device that's authorized.
You did it first with the hooks. You were like, we're going to get hooked up by Spear Point. Now he's on board with a new board. It's just a night of puns. A night of puns.
All right, AOI points. Angler year qualification standards, right? I'll highlight this real quick. You must compete in 5 FKBT regular season events. All right. You must check in after the event to get your AOI points counted towards that event. Now, we understand some extenuating circumstances may occur that you may have to leave early. As long as you notify us in a timely manner, hey, I need to take off at noon. My daughter needs to go to the hospital, or whatever event is occurring that's important and is reasonable. Just communicate early and often with us, and we'll kind of take care of that check-in issue. But if it's just like, I'm upset, I don't want to go home because I caught 1 12-incher, I don't want to check in. You're not one fish. Hey, a lot of times, a lot of people may have a tough event, and they may not catch any fish, and you catch one fish, and you're sitting in 7th place. You go check in, you're going to get 7th place worth of AOI points. So don't give up. Make sure you guys check in. Like I said, if you have an extenuating circumstance that prevents you from attending check-in, just let us know early and often. Go ahead. Did you have something, Billy?
Yeah, just for check-in when you're done.
In the event of a tie, the angler with the highest event finished breaks the tie, right? So if me and Bailey are tied at the end of the year for AOI points and I have 2 wins and he has 1 win, I'm taking home AOI. That pretty much breaks it down. Pretty simple. Go ahead and do AOI, your AOI comment.
Yeah. So I was going to say for AOI, the check-in piece, right? So we're going to, on our mandatory captains meeting, there was a question for each event. Every mandatory captains meetings from October through June are going to be the Thursday prior to the event at 7 p.m. on this same platform. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube, right? So those are going to be mandatory for you guys to watch prior to the event. And that mandatory check-in is going to be predetermined weeks in advance so that you guys can pre-fish around proximity or know how or where or how long it's going to take you to get to that location if you don't fish out of that area. I know for the Stick Marsh and Fellsmere event, the mandatory check-in is going to be in the parking lot of the Stick Marsh boat ramp right next to the kayak launch area there. There's a pavilion. At the end of the event, we are going to be posted up there, and you will be required to sign in. If you do not sign in, we, the tournament directors, will go into the tournament management system, Fishing Chaos, and remove you, delete you from that roster so that the accurate people get their their right positions so they know where they fall and they get distributed the right amount of Angler of the Year points. Unless, like Sean said earlier, you have a legitimate, like there's something that went on. Life happens. We understand that. We'll take care of you. We're not out here just to DQ your fish. But if you just blatantly don't show up and you don't communicate with us, right, there's going to be a time limit, right? An hour, whatever it is, after line's out that you're going to have to show up to that tournament check-in. And if you miss that tournament check-in, guess what? DQ. And then we're just going to keep pressing. We can't wait hours for people to get off the water and to load up their kayaks so that before we can do the award ceremonies, right? It's the tournament. It's the angler's responsibility to make sure that they're off the water, loaded up, and back to that award ceremony, so that we're not keeping people back 2-3 hours to get on their way back home. So that's why we're doing it, and for the safety feature to it as well.
All right, Florida Kayak Bass Trail Championship qualification standards. All right, anglers must compete in 5 regular season events. The top 25 in AOI standings will qualify. What's up?
No, we're just giving high fives.
So the top 25 in AOI standings will automatically qualify for the FKBT Championship. Roll downs will be notified in the event of every angler from the top 20. Any angler from the top 25 cannot make the championship. All right, so you win winning any regular season FKBT event qualifies you for the championship, but you also must meet that minimum of 5 events. So realistically, you can win 1 and tank 4 more, finish outside the top 25 in AOI, and you're qualified. So winning qualifies you, but you need to meet that minimum 5 regular season events. All right, if you win a monthly event and you tank every single regular season, your 5 regular season qualification events, and not in the top 25, you're qualified for the championship. So
what?
So what we're not going to roll down for is people who double qualify, right? So Chris Bailey wins an event and Chris Bailey wins a monthly event. That's not going to increase another. So there's possibilities of people double qualifying, whether that's through the monthly. But again, like I said, you can win a monthly, but you still have to qualify, finish outside of top 25 AOI, but you have to have those 5 regular season events. All right,
Yeah,
any questions and comments on that?
The monthly, you have to be a member to compete in, a Florida Kayak Bass Trail member from October to June. It was open up until October, but October 1st, those monthlies are strictly for members since it's a way for you to win into the championship. Again, I just kind of want to express a little bit. Right now, we're sitting at 4 anglers in the October monthly. 4. That's it that are signed up. So, again, remember, that's a way for you to kind of pre-fish these lakes and win kind of extra money, too, to get your money back on the amount you spend in gas, so on and so forth. So get signed up on those, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I just wanted to let you guys know there was questions on Facebook if it was open to anybody. You have to be a member of the Florida Kayak Bass Trail. All
right. Any comments or questions on there?
I don't see anything, Todd or Sean.
All right. Last section, photo criteria. All right. Going into photo criteria, this is obviously the most common issue we have. Chris did some great videos out there on Fishing Chaos on how to check in, check out, photo submissions, how to manage your catch, your uploads. I believe you did duplicate fish in there also. So if you have any questions, try and get those questions out before we get on the water, right? So each event, there's going to be one of us 4 tied to that event that you're going to contact for any issues, right? And it's going to change. So on the tourney registration page, I think Chris has nominated himself for the Headwater Stick Marsh event. And he's going to be that guy that's going to field calls from anglers, right? Next event, Sean Spears will field all calls on the water. But let's try and get those questions out and answered before we go out to that event. So we're not blowing up Chris Bailey's phone while he's trying to also compete on top of this. He's going to be more than willing to answer your phone calls. If you don't answer, everybody nearly has my phone number. It's like publicly available in the members. It's not publicly available. It's posted in the members only page. But so if he doesn't answer for whatever reason, you guys can always call me. But a lot of the questions, like if you have a question about something, the question you're going to get thrown back at you, did you read the rules, right? All right, this happened on a tournament a few years back. What happens if someone catches the same fish twice? Can you submit? I assume not, but want to double check. We can't answer. We're not submitting duplicate fish, the same fish. But go ahead. Does that answer your question? Can't submit the same fish twice.
Even on a multi-day event.
Yeah. All right.
But go play the lottery.
I know that's a hot topic across kayak bass fishing right now as a whole on catching the same fish the same day or over a multi-day tournament. And I know there's probably going to be some changes coming up or no changes at all. Photo criteria, back to what we were originally talking about. We talked fishing chaos. Photo criteria, the down and dirty. The fish is going to, your board's going to be, the bump's going to be to the left. The fish is going to be facing to the left, right? Mouth completely closed, tail flat on the board, hand placed in the proper location, center of the body, not over the face, not underneath the gill flap, not covering the eyes, shall I say, or mouth, or the bump, not underneath the gill flap or the gill plate, and not over the tail fin. And so I know it's commonly asked, like if the fish has that big knot on its mouth, if its mouth is not completely closed, it's going to be a 1/2 inch deductible on that fish, unless it's excessively open, and that fish is going to be DQ'd. So,
Sean's got something.
And that will be up to the judge's discretion. The judges that are used, they judge many different tournaments, state tournaments, the whole works. And so it will be up to their discretion as to how much, whether the mouth is cracked or no attempt or whatever it is.
All right.
Multiple photos. Sorry, Sean.
So it's all right. So when you go to take that photo, you can pinch the tail, but you cannot be actively pinching the tail as you're snapping that photo. Measuring device markings, including the measurement numbers, must be clearly visible and readily identifiable. Common issue. I catch a 20-inch fish. That 20 is probably say that the tail's covering at 20, right? And I can't see the next number on your board. Judges must be able to identify the next increment on that board in that photo. So be careful how we cut off the right side of that board when measuring fish.
Yeah, right. A lot of folks put that tournament identifier with the band, like which one is it? That identifier card holder, like right up next to the tail and the tourney tag. Yeah, and it blocks off a lot of it. So just be mindful of that. And then Christopher Blanco, Sean, has a question.
What happens if you don't have good signal to submit while on water? So there's options with Fishing Chaos where you can upload a low-res photo. And normally, Fellsmere, you should not have major issues uploading photos. But if you do have service issues on the water, it's the angler's responsibility to get off the water in time to submit those photos, get to cell phone service, and submit those photos. Going down the list of lakes we have, I can't. The St. Johns River is probably the worst cell phone service, but I've never had huge amounts of issues submitting photos there. You have the option, right, to submit a low-res photo, but normally the judges are able to judge that fish effectively. But be prepared for a follow-up, because I've seen some of the low-res photos come through on Fishing Chaos, and some of them are hard to understand. So when you get off the water, you may be asked to submit another photo for that fish if it's too low res. But those are options. I hope that answers your question. But in the end, if you have to if you have to cut your day short 20 minutes to get off the water in time to get up on the road and move to a location that has great or good enough cell phone service to submit your photos, that's what you're going to have to do. But looking at our schedule right now, I don't identify any major issues with submitting photos. I've never fished Panisofsky. That's the only one I've never been on. But Todd's been out there, and I've been FaceTiming him for the past like 3 weeks in a row while he's been on Panisofsky, and we've been able to communicate pretty effectively. So I'm assuming the cell phone service is pretty good out there.
Every lake is good this year because we fish them and we submit fish on Fishing Chaos with them. So,
all right. So FKBT provided identifier clearly visible in the photograph. Be aware of glare on your photos before you throw your fish back. Check that photo and make sure there's no sun glare over top the identifier. Overhead photograph. We're not going to shoot a photo from such a drastic angle that it's hard for us to identify whether that fish is all the way on the bump. Once you create that drastic angle, it's hard to judge the fish effectively. So it's an overhead shot of the fish centered on the fish. All right, anglers may use their hands to hold the fish, but there's an image posted in this section that shows you exact hand placement. The entire fish, to include the lip, tail, and gill plate, must be visible and cannot be obstructed from the view in the photograph. All right. If the fish has a glossy eye, right? I caught a fish and a few weeks ago, and I put a hook through its eye, and I caught another fish, and the fish kind of looked dead with its eye. Take a video of that, you releasing that fish if it has a glossy eye to where it possibly could look like it's dead. Go ahead and do a release photo or release video of that fish. So video starts, fish on the board, fish being lifted off the board, camera goes over to the water, put the fish in the water, watch the fish swim off, stop the video. Some of the anglers have done it at on some of these national events. It's not very difficult. Do a quick release.
You can say, hey, this is my 17.25 that is being released into the water. So it's on the board as a 17.25. You pick it up, release it, put it in the water, and it swims away.
All right. Quality of the photo submitted is responsibility of the angler. What if I catch a bass that gets gill hooked? Once released, I notice he might not make it. Is that considered a non-qualifying fish? I mean, so if you deep hook or gill hook a fish and it's bleeding a lot, I would go ahead, snap that photo, same thing, take that video, fish on the board, 18-inch fish caught at 0805, fish going back into the water, placing the fish in the water, fish swims off, right? If the fish swims off on its own accord and dies at a later time, or you witness him go belly up 5 minutes later, we're going to count that fish. I understand. I'm not going to call them out, but I've fished with some guys, and we've deep hooked some fish on accident at times, and they died 5, 10, 15 minutes later. So understand that. The best advice, my recommendation to you is do a video release of that fish. It happens. We understand it. Video release of the fish off. And I mean, you can let us know. You're not required to let us know that one of your fish you caught died and you seen them go belly up. But if you do notify us, I'd be like, hey, can you show me a video of that fish swimming off? And then we'll call it at that. I hope that answers your question. With your back to Fishing Chaos, kind of make sure you run the test on Fishing Chaos with your phone, ensure all your location, GPS location is turned on, right? Section 13, truth verification test. So that's an option on the table that we have at our disposal. And I believe, 14 protest and reporting procedures, 15 penalties, and rule consistency and sharing. Section 17, and we covered 17, or the 16's rule consistency and sharing, 17 waiver and release liability. I believe Bailey already talked about making sure anglers get your waivers submitted up to one of us, and we'll upload them into our drive and keep those on record. And do you want to go ahead and are you going to do the tax forms and have them go ahead and submit those, or just wait?
Yeah. So how that's going to work, guys, and I was about to talk or jump into that segment for registration and how that whole process is going to work this year. Are you done with rules?
Yeah. Pending any other questions, that's rules. Like I said, it's your guys' responsibility. You have to check a block stating, I have read and understand the rules for Florida Kayak Bass Trail in this event. I understand that includes the registration page, right? It's going to tell you authorized boat ramps, or boundaries, check in, check out, lines in, lines out, launch times, everything specified in that tournament registration page. And if you guys violate a rule and we're like, hey, did you read the rule? And you're like, no, I didn't read the rules. That's on you. So any other questions, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so I see Scott Gibbons said, would you submit the video? The video is not submitted on Fishing Chaos.
No.
It will be something that if it's brought to our attention or the judge says, hey, this fish looks dead, the judge is going to notify you first and say, hey, you're going to get with the judge and provide that video to the individual who's judging the fish. Again, Sean, Todd, me, and Chris Clutter are not judging these fish. That is left up to the KBF, Tennessee folks. They are the judge. They are the ones that need to see that video. If they reach back out to us and say, hey, I didn't get this video after I requested it, they're just going to DQ the fish, right? That's how that's going to work. And then we have a Snurley on YouTube says we need a W-9. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to hop into registration and kind of cover how that process is going to work. So if you win, you receive money from the Florida Kayak Bass Trail, you will have to provide us with a W-9. Last year, we sent it out to everybody, and not everybody received cash or money from us in the events of payouts. So it was we just had a lot of W-9s on file for really no reason. So in the event that you win money through a monthly, through a regular season event, you will be emailed a W-9 form to fill out. Once you fill it completely fill it out, you're going to send it back to our email. That's when the money will be transferred over to your account via whichever means you have selected on Fishing Chaos, via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, whatever the case may be. But money will not be transferred from the Florida Kayak Bass Trail bank account to your account until that W-9 is on file. So if you win, say whoever wins Fellsmere and Stickmarsh, there's going to be a W-9 form sent to them that night. They have all weekend to fill it out, get it back to us on Monday. When that check or when the check's clear, the money hits our account, then they will get paid as soon as that happens. So that's up onto the angler's responsibility. So that's how it is going to be tackled this year. So with tournament registration, the Florida Kayak Bass Trail October monthly is open. We got 4 anglers that are signed up to do that. Sean already covered the eligible bodies of water for that. If you submit fish that are not on those bodies of water, they're simply going to be disqualified with a reasoning of fish caught in an ineligible body of water. You can find the eligibility, the bodies of water, on the details portion on the tournament, on Fishing Chaos, on the tournament dashboard. It's listed out right there, plain as day. I put a post on Facebook on what that looks like. So if you have issues on that, I am going to simply refer you to the video that I posted last weekend, so that you guys.
Or very simple, just look at our schedule. It's the lake that's on our schedule.
Exactly, the lakes. Yep, exactly. So that is it. The October monthly can be found on Fishing Chaos, the same place where you can find the regular season. If you guys are struggling to find the Fellsmere Stickmarsh tournament sign up on Fishing Chaos, as soon as we get off of this live, I will be reposting both of those links for you to sign up. Registration for the monthly is open all the way up until the last week of the month. Okay? The registration to sign up for the Fellsmere Stickmarsh is going to be 8 p.m. or I think it's 11:59 on the 13th. Up until 11:59 on the 13th. What you got?
Are we doing a Little Debbie award for the monthly or no?
No, not for the
Damn.
monthly, but we are going to be doing it for the regular season event. Yes. So we got something cool in store for the Little Debbie for the I got mine too. For the regular season event. So again, like I said, Robert Phillips mentioned, I don't know what it is, but I don't know why you guys want to wait till the last minute to sign up. That allows us to be able to pay you guys faster. But ultimately, I can't control what you guys do. But it does help us prepare and plan our events a little bit better on how much water we're going to be bringing. Van Hunks donated a big 70-quart cooler to us, so we're going to be bringing water and some snacks to the post-event meetup. So, yeah, just let us know. And we look forward to seeing you guys out there on the 14th. So that's all I have for the monthlies and the regular season registration. What you got?
Hey, real quick. Hey, any rules, boundaries, launches, questions, direct those towards me. Hey, beer?
Yes, preferred.
I don't know. We'd have to. You're gonna bring your breathalyzer. If you start drinking beer at the boat ramp, well, after the tournament, we'll have Clutter breathalyze you before you take off. Make sure you're legal to drive, because we're not going to be. We'll have you sign a waiver saying I do not.
I'll do free FSCs at the boat ramp before we leave.
No, but for real, any questions regarding rules, launch locations, boundaries? I know I got reached out. Like I said, I'm gonna push out all those for the entire season out this weekend. But if you have any questions regarding those, hit me up directly. Todd's really managing the prod for us. Bailey's really the fishing chaos expert, registration, the money. That's Bailey specific, right? And
What?
Clutter works his ass off. Pardon my language. So Clutter fits in there where he needs to fit in. And if you have any questions specifically for Clutter, you can reach out to him for anything, and he'll most likely be able to answer the question. But if he's not, he's going to refer us to the right person. But remember, if we don't reach out to you immediately, three of us work. Todd works a lot, but he works on his own time, so he may respond faster than sometimes myself or Bailey or Mr. Clutter, because he works odd hours. I work long hours, and I work at a university. I teach, and I'm in the Army. So just be aware of that. If we don't answer immediately, just give us some time. I get 6,000 texts probably as a low ball a day from between college students, work, and these guys. So be patient. We'll get back to you and answer your question. That is all I have right now.
Okay.
Let me throw in one thing on here about signing up earlier. I do believe that a lot of people wait to see how many people have signed up before they sign up, because they don't want to come out to a low number tournament. They may not think it's worth their while. So the more people that signs up earlier will drive more people to sign up, because it's going to be a bigger payout, and they're going to get more of a return off their investment if they do win the tournament, right? So get signed up early. It just helps everybody out, and it also drives people to want to participate even more.
I appreciate that. It makes our life a lot easier, because we sit there and stress.
Clutter, you got anything? You're mighty quiet over here tonight.
I just love listening to y'all.
We stress so much. Me and Clutter all lost our hair.
I'm shiny though. You're not as shiny as me.
We got one more thing though, Todd. We got one more thing that we need to announce before we end this show.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Drum roll, please. I know Robert has been waiting on this for a while.
Hey, Todd, have you sent Robert? No, never mind, because we didn't end up going with that one.
Wait, I hope Scott didn't leave yet. He said, "Peace out, y'all." He's gonna miss it.
No, Scott, come back.
Yeah.
Baby, come back.
All right, y'all ready? Drum roll, please. So here's our 2024 tournament jerseys. We're going to have two that you can choose from. Boom. So what we've got here, we've got what we call an orange jersey and a red jersey. One's going to be highlighted orange, one's going to be highlighted red. You've got options of a quarter zip, like your normal professional tournament jersey, or you also have the option of having a hoodie with the quarter zip. Okay. Once we give them the okay on this, what you're going to have here in the center, each one of these blue squares right here, you'll have an option to put up logos of your own sponsors right in here if you want to, or add whatever. So what we're going to be able to do is once we give them the okay on these final two designs right here, which we've all went through and okayed it, I'll give them that. They will, they're going to build us a ordering site. We'll put that out on our Facebook page where everybody can go on and order their own. So they'll have all the prices there, everything. You fill out your names, your kayak that you want. If you want to put whatever kayak you're in, you can put their logo right there. You have your name here. You put your sponsors here if you want, or you can leave it blank and not have anything. So they are customizable. They're for individuals. You can order one of each. You can order, all four, or just order one, whatever you want to do. So I think they look pretty sharp. What I tried to do on these is not go where it's such a dark color overall, because the heat here in the summertime can be pretty brutal. So tried to leave it more of a light color on top and then more of a darker color at the bottom. So, Mitchell, you should know you're the one knitting them. So you won the knitting needles last year. Anyway, they are the performance shirts. They're the ones that they do a lot of these. The company that we're using, they do a lot for Bass Nation across Florida. So they are really, really good material, and they'll last for a long, long time. So anyway, hope you guys like them. Hope y'all go out and purchase you one. I think they're going to look really, really sharp, and we're all going to look sharp out on the waters this year.
Is that thing sleeveless?
You can.
You can.
That'd be cool to do a vest with a hood. I like that idea.
Hey, we can't give Daryl a sleeveless one. He'll be like
he'll be red.
Yeah, a little red popsicle.
Okay, so Snurley, the link is not available yet. They are building the site for these to be ordered and purchased. Once the link becomes available, it will go live on our members only page. So yeah, just stay tuned. It should be in the next couple days.
And we will post these out on the members page so y'all can actually get a better look at them up close. But they will build a link, and we'll post the link, and it will have the cost and everything in there. So
yep.
But I think they look sharp. I think we're going to look good out there on the water with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, thanks, Todd, for putting in all that work and getting those squared away. They said what, about a five-ish week turnaround on them, or give or take. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So you guys get them ordered soon. Sean, get out of here. Lives in a trailer park. Is it dishwasher safe? Mitchell, man, he
give it a shot and see.
Yeah, Mitchell, go ahead. he must have taken his medicine.
It's not safe from his fidget spinners, though.
So for those of you that want to go out on a guided trip with Mitchell, hit him up. He'll take you out and put you on some fish.
Hey, Mitchell's providing guided trips on Fellsmere this weekend.
It's within that 21 days.
Yeah, so it passed 23rd.
He's trying to get y'all DQ'd. That's what he's doing.
Go fish with Mitchell's fishing services on Headwaters this weekend.
Yeah, he'll put you on a lynx on some bass.
He'll put you on the trail to a DQ.
Yeah. Mitchell's like, how can I win AOI? Let me see how many pokes I can get DQ'd.
While he's knitting, he's thinking of the ways. He's just
he's sitting there watching. He's telling you, yeah, throw over there, and he's over there knitting his DQ. No, so I do want to bring something up here real quick. Mitchell, he's got some jokes tonight, but he did have something really, really beneficial to say here to add, and I think it's something that we could talk about. Put people that sign up a week early in a drawing for a prize. Todd, I think that might be a good Torquedo raffle.
Damn, that's a good idea.
Damn.
Really?
Damn.
Really?
Hey, did you see Amy's comment?
Where?
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Oh my God!
Boom.
Hey,
Amy coming out.
Amy gets a prize.
Yep, Amy, we are going to hook you up with a free trip with Chris Mitchell himself. We'll pay for his guide service.
Poor fella.
Man.
So, but yeah, no, definitely, Mitchell. Thanks for bringing that up. I think that's a great idea. That prize, we got a really cool partnership with Torquedo this year. That might be a great opportunity to give away what they gave us to give away.
Your leg looks good.
Oh, I'm sorry. I appreciate that. That's the wrong. This is the wrong podcast for that. Sorry.
Oh my God! What is happening? Oh.
And hey, yo, real quick. I don't know if you guys have met my wife before, but I'm going to bring her on here.
Hello.
That's Molly. She is my other half. I wouldn't say better half. My other half.
Better. Much better.
But be better if she fished.
I've caught a couple fish.
So, no, this is Molly. She puts up with all our shenanigans. Me, Todd, and Sean and Clutter, we talk for hours. That was her leg, not mine. So.
I thought I was on Farmers Only for a minute.
No, what did this turn to? This turned south real quick. Get out of here, Molly.
And the animals get shown now.
Farmers Only fan. I mean, I guess we're hitting them all, Todd. Sorry. So
Todd's praying right now. Todd's literally like this, Lord Jesus.
We got Clutter on here acting up.
Oh.
We got Mitchell on here acting up. Robert's leaving. He's like, I gotta go. I thought that would keep him on longer.
David Meyer said, "Don't start with the feet."
So, no. So, if you guys have any questions, again, we're at an hour and 16 minutes. We hit it pretty hard, but we covered everything that I think we need to be covered. Clutter, we didn't include you too much tonight. We weren't sure if you were going to be able to make it, but we were very glad and very fortunate to have you on here tonight. He, like you said, he's a busy man in Apopka. A lot of things are popping off over there, so you know he's pretty busy with his job. So we enjoy every time he gets to come on and spend the hour and a half with us. So you guys don't know who he is. He's a bundle of joy.
I'm a lurker. I actually like it. It's an endearing term, I guess.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about this real quick. Todd has moved. So, for those of you that don't know, Todd has now moved to the northern part of Florida, north of Tampa near Panosofsky, in a little town called The Villages. So, Middleton.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, Todd. You live in the Villages.
All right.
Yeah, Todd, Lloyd,
all right.
Robert can never be a saint.
All right, we got to close this thing out before it gets out of control.
Yeah.
Rules are bad.
But no, okay, so real quick, if you guys are going out this weekend and fishing headwaters, be safe out on the water. Weather has been kind of crazy out there, so just be careful out on the water. We look forward to seeing you guys out there. I know I'll be out there at some point this weekend. And if you see me, stop by, say what's up. We'll talk. But yeah, we're going to be out there fishing a little bit. And also taking care of a lot of the stuff last minute for our tournament next weekend. So appreciate you guys staying tuned. Looking forward to seeing y'all next weekend. Have fun, be safe, and tight lines. Peace.
Megabass is better.
Next Thursday, captain's meeting. Same time, same channel, same place. Peace out, everyone.
Bring your water. Peace out.
Peace.